Welcome to the Militia Gaming community. I'm Trigger, and today we get to talk about the 2017 Aston Martin DB11. Let's go! Before I get into the video, I just want to mention that the Militiagamingco website is a great resource for all of my best guides, all of my Need for Speed Heat builds, and a link to our Discord. You can also support the channel by purchasing merch. Go to militiagamingco.com and explore anything that you're looking for there. Alright, let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about today is the engine. So the engine for this 2017 Aston Martin that performed the best is really no surprise, and that's the 721 horsepower forged 3.8 liter V8 engine. This is the most expensive engine for the car, and it's the only engine that you can achieve a 400 plus rating for this car. I think it has to do with the fact that this is a very heavy car. The body of the car just weighs too much for some of those lighter engines. So this 721 horsepower forged engine really is the best. It runs a time 301.5 on Arian, which is really not good at all. It's 60th on my list. So this is not something you want to go out and challenge your friends with. It also runs a 242.9 on Sonic. So 242 is not terrible. Obviously, it's not great either. It's kind of middle of the road, but it definitely runs better on Sonic than it did on Arian, and that's because the car is very slow in the turns. It just has a problem accelerating from lower speeds, and Arian really tests those types of things. You've got really sharp S turns that are uphill and the car's going very slowly. So it's really just not a good car on tighter tracks. It does okay on wide open, straighter courses like Sonic. So that being said, here is my full build. So we got that 721 horsepower forged engine, Ultimate Plus engine parts, dual turbo, and 5x3 pound NOS. We got the track suspension, we got the Elite brakes, Elite race tires, Elite Plus clutch, Elite Plus 8-speed gearbox, Super track differential, NOS refills, NOS duration, and then steering sensitivity +2, downforce -2, traction control off, and drift style on brake. It definitely handles better with the drift style on brake. You can sort of drive it the same as if you had drift style on gas, but it definitely feels better. It snaps a little bit better when you hit the brake if you have your drift style on brake. So definitely do it that way for your live tune. All right, moving on to the drag build. Now the drag build is really useless, I'll be honest. Like, it's just not fast at all. It runs a quarter mile in 9 seconds, and it has a 1.97 0 to 60. It's in the bottom third of the drag builds, or of the drag cars that I've tested, and I just really don't recommend it. But we're gonna just move through this quickly. Here is my full build. It's that same 721 horsepower engine, Ultimate Plus engine parts, Ultimate dual turbo, and 1x15 pound NOS, Super track suspension, Elite brakes, Elite drag tires, Elite Plus clutch, Super Plus 6-speed gearbox, Super track differential, NOS refills and duration, and then steering sensitivity +2, downforce -5, traction control off, drift style on brake. All right, moving on to the drift build, and this is one of the places where this car is actually very valuable. It does very well. It scores fairly high. It's not the highest scoring car, but it is pretty easy to control. Now with a simple handbrake, you can turn the car from left to right very quickly, and it does not have a problem maintaining wheel spin even if you're going very slow. So I actually really like this build. This is something that I would recommend if you're looking for something different to use to 3-star all of the drift events. This one does do the job, and it's actually quite easy to control. So here is my drift build for automatic. If you're running manual, you can still use this build, but it's probably not as optimized. It's definitely optimized for an automatic user. It's the 721 horsepower forged engine again, Ultimate Plus engine parts, Ultimate dual turbo, and the 5x3 pound NOS. You've got Super speed cross suspension, Elite brakes, Elite drag tires, Elite Plus clutch, Super Plus 6-speed gearbox, and the Pro drift differential. I've got NOS refills and duration, which don't really matter, and then steering sensitivity +5, downforce -5, traction control off, and drift style back to gas. So you can run it on brake, but it really just didn't feel as good as if you had it on gas. Either way you go, a handbrake is sort of necessary to make that turn. If you want to make a real sharp transition from left to right, you definitely should use the handbrake. And that's not always the case with cars, but it is with this one. All right, lastly, let's take a look at the Offroad Build. Now the Offroad Build did surprise me. This is a very heavy car, and so I didn't really think it would be that quick in the dirt, but it is pretty fast. It actually made it into the top 30, which is pretty good considering there's over 120 cars. And of course, as always, I test this on HTV2 and Rumble. And HTV2, I ran a 151.1, Rumble a 313.5, giving it a combined time of 504.6. Again, that's right in the top 30. I think it's about 26th if I'm not mistaken. And it just feels good. It really does race well in the dirt. So like when you drift a corner in the dirt, you have to counter steer to straighten the car out and regain traction. And a lot of times cars have a hard time regaining traction. This one doesn't. The second the car gets straight, it regains traction, and then you can NOS into a straight. So I really do like this off-road build. In fact, both the drift and the off-road build are very, very usable. I would say it competes with most cars off-road. Some are faster, obviously, because it's only in the top 30, but it's definitely something you can use and just be a little bit different than your friends. All right, so the full off-road build is 721 horsepower forged 3.8 liter V8, Ultimate Plus engine parts, Ultimate dual turbo, 5x3 pound NOS, and the Super Rally suspension, Elite brakes, Elite off-road tires, Elite Plus clutch, Elite Plus 8-speed gearbox, Super Rally differential, NOS refills and duration, and then steering sensitivity +5, downforce -5, traction control off, drift style on, gas again. Hey, before I go, shout out to all the Heat 5 members of the channel. If you want to see your name up here with the rest of these legends, all you have to do is click the join button below and become a Heat 5 member. By doing this, you'll be supporting the channel in ways you will not believe, and you get all kinds of sweet perks like members only streams and specific exclusive Discord channel access. And with that, guys, I'm going to end the video. I really do appreciate everyone's support on this series. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and shout out to all the subs. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.